Hello, it is June 21st, and this is the summer solstice. Is that right, Nick?
Yep.
Beginning of summer.
Yeah, that sounds right.
What is
Checks
solstice?
out.
Or
solstice
summer
mean?
equinox. What's equinox?
It's a gym.
That's a gym. The E-League. It's a big gym in like New York and L.A. And they play basketball there. T.O.
Nice.
played in the E-League.
That
It
makes
was
sense.
the equinox.
Yeah, you're right.
So June 21st might be like a big gym day.
Summer solstice.
Oh, I'll start.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Also something to do with the equator, right? Equinox?
This is when the sun reaches both its highest and northernmost points in the
Correct.
sky.
Yes.
We all knew that.
It's the longest day of the year.
No, Indiana, there's every day as long as day. Indiana, the sun never sets. I'm like
It's
laying
awesome.
I'm laying down at like 9:30, like I'm tired. And the sun's like looking at me
I
like,
hate
you
it.
going to bed, bitch? like the sun is like, you have to have like your blinds completely
Yep.
closed at 9:30 because it's
Yeah.
just daylight.
I know.
I hate it. It makes me feel like a piece of shit.
Yes, it feels like I'm soft, like I'm going to bed, like it's daytime, like a nap. Like this is not a nap, son.
Luckily, I've
This
trained
is
myself
not
for
a nap.
years not
This-
to give a shit.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild though.
We're big on blackout curtains here.
Big.
Yeah.
That's not a bad
It's a must-have.
Like roofing in the South, right?
Yep.
You do roofing in the South. You do blackout blinds in Indiana because all in Alaska, right? Same two different.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't. Is there anybody else that's like? I don't know. This might be a normal thing in the Midwest. I'm not
It
sure.
is, yeah, same deal in Iowa.
Is it?
Really?
Yep.
Is it because it's so flat?
I don't know. Iowa is much more like hilly than Indiana is, so I'm not sure.
I was going to guess because Indiana's the westmost you could go in the Eastern time zone. I was going to say the westmost in Central Mountain.
Because they're an hour behind, and it does
Correct.
feel as if we have the light from like 2 hours behind.
Correct.
You know
so
what
that
I mean?
that was going to be my guess, but I was right in the middle of Central, right?
I thought it was just
Yep.
so the meth heads wouldn't feel bad about being up so late.
You said the meth heads are the most wild arrests you've ever been a part of, right? Todd?
Oh, yeah. Crazy
surprising.
people.
Just dildos
Just
everywhere.
up for days, just working each other over with dildos.
Didn't you have a werewolf meth head at one point?
What? He was eating people?
I had a werewolf hijacked a Greyhound bus.
What happened?
Yeah, I got a call, and this guy had hijacked a Greyhound bus en route from I-74 in Cincinnati to Indianapolis downtown. And they told me he said two things when he hijacked the Greyhound bus. He said he had a bomb on the bus, and he was a werewolf.
And there's one line.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, he don't have no fucking bomb on there.
Imagine the bus driver. Well, if that's the case, sir, Mr. Werewolf, go ahead and take the wheel. I'm gonna get the hell out of the way.
That was his one and only like one cop episode too, I believe.
Yeah, the cops was riding with Indianapolis that day.
Oh, so that was rigged.
Yeah. Well, no, they came up after because I wouldn't let them up because I thought they were news media. And then after the guy was in handcuffs, the producer guy comes up
Yeah.
and introduces himself. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Come up and film. And then the fucker from cops goes, hey, we kind of missed everything. So you can get him out of the car and take the cuffs off and kind of do it all over again.
Yeah, you want to get him back on the bus too?
Yeah.
How about whenever he said he had a bomb and he was a werewolf? Want to reenact the whole thing? Well, I'm sure he won't leave. I'll just have him stick around. Hey, maybe we get catering too. We'll set a whole stage up.
And
Get
then
lighting.
he goes, maybe when you take the cuffs off, he'll fight. I was like, yeah, maybe better yet, when I take the cuffs off, maybe he'll turn into a werewolf. It'll be the greatest episode of Cops of all time.
You want me to give him my gun? I do that with trailer parks all the time. We can make this the best cops episode of all time if you'd like.
That would be hilarious. So if you handcuffed him and his like wrist started like burning because like the silver, it was like wow, he actually is a werewolf.
If he gets uncuffed there though, yeah, the silver would get the werewolf for sure. He's allergic. You know what I mean? What's that from?
That's a real thing.
Silver bullet, yeah, is what it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
silver
the
in
fact that
general.
you think that the handcuffs are actually made from silver.
Most expensive set of handcuffs ever.
You should see the platinum ones that they have in like Carmel, Indiana. Oh yeah. Carmel, Indiana has gold. I've almost got handcuffed there as well. Unbelievable. I forget what I was going to say. I was going somewhere. Tonight's a big baseball game.
Yeah.
Tonight's a big baseball game.
Yeah.
Never playing baseball a day in my life. This is absurd. It's starting now that we're so close to it because we have so much to do all the time. So like, there's so many things in the schedule, and this is not me complaining at all. I'm very excited that I'm a very active person. This is what I've always wanted, but I feel like we have so much going on. To like think about something like this, like I haven't really started thinking about it until yesterday. Like actually thinking about it, like whenever I agreed to doing it, I was like, yeah, this would be fun. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, absolutely. Never played baseball a day in my life. Cool. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. And never even played T-ball. Never even played T-ball. Like, whenever and we didn't even play it in the neighborhood either. We played football. I don't think I ever played baseball in the neighborhood even. So, ever. I don't think I ever did. So when we signed up for it, I was just in my head like, yeah, no problem. This is not shit. I see very basic human beings playing baseball all the time. And I'm thinking back to like middle school, I think. Like in my head, I'm like that. There was like baseball fields in Plum where I used to hang out at, and I never played, but people hung out there. It was like literally every kid in Plum was playing. And I would just watch these kids who I didn't have a lot of respect for their athletic ability play very well. But it's like middle-aged kids, like middle school kids. Now we're talking like adults. These guys have gotten drafted or they've like been cut down either in high school or college. Now they're continuing. And me signing up for it, the more and more I think about it, probably a pretty bad decision. Probably a pretty bad decision.
And the league that you're talking about that you watch and you're comparing to was literally like our YMCA league that every fucking Joe Schmo in the county
every kid
signed
played
up
in this
for.
thing.
Like you didn't have to have an ounce of athletic ability.
Not
in
a
you.
one. Yeah. Not a one. I watched kids that were very, very unathletic. Like
Right.
I seen them like try to do stuff in school. And they're just like playing baseball and having the time of their life and like enjoying it and like hitting the ball. And I'm like, oh. So I think that was engraved in my head ever since like literally like I'm 10 years old, 11 years old. And then now I'm 31 years old. I'm like, yeah, I remember what I thought whenever I was 10. Yeah, these kids ain't shit. I can get in there and do that. And then now people are like, oh, it's probably going to be a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. It's probably going to be a 90-mile-an-hour fastball at you. I'm like, oh, shit. Yes, this is something I should think about. So for the last 2 days, I've really tried to focus in here. Ty Schmidt throwing me BP in the middle of the office with hockey balls has been very nice. Being able to just see a ball fly after hitting it has been pretty good. And I feel good, to be honest. I do. I don't know how much harder it could get, but
It's
I do
weird
feel
that you have a very natural looking swing, having never really played
Right.
at all. Like if you played through little league and all that stuff, you could still have some muscle memory, but you swing very well.
I'm very intrigued by it because I'm getting a lot of comments on the baseball players are the ones who are coming at me the hardest, saying I have no chance, they're saying I have no shot. If I even make contact with the ball, I should be happy or whatever. And then they're the ones telling me that my form's all wrong. But I'm at the point now where I got to live with this form. Like we cannot be building a swing from the ground up.
Looks
here.
good to me.
It feels smooth. And literally it's just from when I'm 10 years old watching Ken Griffey Jr. swing, and that's exactly what I'm trying to. I'm like, all right, if I mock that guy, I feel like we'll just try to put it together. I'll be excited to see
It
what
honestly
happens.
blows my mind, too, that you're able to notice the difference where it's like a fastball, a curveball right away. That's like day two.
Very vitamined up, though. We got to remember that. I'm watching Ty Schmidt.
See the laces.
Yeah, I'm watching Ty Schmidt, like his individual body movement changing. I'm like, oh, there's a curveball coming.
Would you say this is the biggest baseball game that you'll play in your life?
This is the Mega Bowl. This is for fourth place. This is a big one. This is a big one.
Like you're literally John McAvoy from Wanted when he was turn the bullet. Like you're seeing everything in slow motion. That's you.
Oh, you're talking about from me seeing the Ty Schmidt thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope I'm like that. I've never seen that. I seen the one where the female actress, she was in a car and
That's
she
the same
bent.
movie, yeah.
It's Wanted.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, they bent. I never saw the movie, but I saw the
Yes.
trailer enough to
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, "Yo, is that I googled. Is that possible? That'd be incredible."
All I care about is your swing looks good enough that you could play a baseball player in a movie. That's all it really matters.
Oh, which is great news for everybody in this. Everybody in this, you're 100% right.
At the very least, you're gonna look damn good doing it.
Well,
So,
and in the shoes, the
Shoes
shoes
and
came
gloves
in,
are
look
fresh.
good. Eastbay, shout out Eastbay for that, by the way. Just sent us some free stuff from that guy Andrew, I believe,
Yeah.
at AA Deuce, I believe.
Yep, that's right.
sounds
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and he sent us. I got some Jeter Jordans. That's Jeter, by the way, was the one that garnered the #2 respect tip of the cap.
Yes,
I'm
correct.
wearing that guy's shoes.
Yep.
Good for me. There we go. I'm already on base, it feels like. And then I got some Hirachi batting gloves that are all white, too, cocaine white. I'm
Yep.
pretty excited about it.
Tell you what, shout out East Bay because when that magazine used to come to your house when you were a child, it was fucking Christmas.
They had
so
so much
good.
stuff in there. They had like custom stuff in there.
We're
They had
talking earlier,
everything.
They had the Dadas with the spinners. That was when
I
East
used to
Bay
love
was in its
those.
prime.
Man, I remember when everybody was trying to get in this shoe game. Yeah, I forget.
Oh God.
There was those boots, but they were lugs.
Oh, those are good. Remember the
Lugs?
Firehouse shoes?
No, lugs.
The Birdman's flying any weather.
Yeah, there they are. The lugs, I believe they were called.
Yeah.
Everybody had was trying to start their own shoe.
Remember Starberry?
Starberries
Starberries are great.
still
Those were
happening, by the
awesome.
way.
Yeah.
$5.
Still happening. The Starberries are still
The
happening.
T Max were dope too when we were in junior high. That was
yeah.
my basketball shoe.
Man. Well, anyways, I'm wearing the Jeters.
They look good. They look
look
really,
pretty good.
really
You
good.
have the best looking cleats on the team.
I think so. I mean, I don't know who's gonna. Those are gonna be. They're fresh out of the box too. Zito said maybe you should run around in those a little bit. I was like, practice. I'll do it. I'll do it in practice.
yeah.
So I'm gonna get a blister for sure.
For sure, yeah.
They're very tight, and they go up to like the terrible length on your ankle, like right above the ball. Like that's the worst length to have.
Well,
'cause
you have
it's
long socks on.
That'd be hilarious if it was like Mike.
Am I wearing a cup?
No, you're playing
no,
outfield.
no.
You don't need to.
I rolled the dice and sometimes didn't even wear it as a catcher. I was like, this is so
Oh,
uncomfortable.
that's a bold
That
move.
is wild. Yeah.
It was so uncomfortable. I was like, fuck it, I'll just lose a ball.
Lance Armstrong did it. Well, goddamn, if Lance did it, I could do it. I'll roll the dice. That's hilarious.
Because over your career, when you have I've played it for like 10 years and you get hit like twice, you're like, the odds aren't great.
All right, we got a chance to talk
Very
to
average, man.
We got a chance to talk to a guy who has pitched a perfect game about my baseball experiences, and he is an electric human being. I had no clue about that. I had absolutely no clue about that.
He's hilarious.
The conversation went in a pretty spectacular way. I think you will enjoy it. But before we get to that, have you ever been inside a Bass Pro Shops? How about a Cabela's?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you like nature, golfing, grilling, hiking, kayaking, fishing, hunting, or just feeling the warmth of the sun, you don't know what you're missing. Husbands, wives, fathers, mothers, kids, grandkids, there's something for everyone at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. With free seminars, unmatched selection, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff that can get you set for any outdoor experience, whether it's your first time with a spinning reel in your hand or to gear up for your typical weekend on the water, Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's can be the gateway to your next outdoor adventure. For more information on free events and family activities at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's near you, visit www.basspro.com/stores and www.cabela's.com/stores. That's BASSPRO.com/STORES and www.CABELAS.com/stores. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, your adventure starts here. It's like going to an amusement
It
park.
is. Fun
It
stores
is.
to be in.
Yeah, they're just fun stores. So if you've never been, please go check it out. It's a good time, and they're good. They're sponsoring the show, so I appreciate
The James Bond gun that I purchased that was a notorious one that shot through my sock drawer
the tactical one.
was bought at a Cabela's.
Cabela's, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun. It's literally has everything that you could ever ask for. I'm excited that they're combining right now. You can see we're in the middle of a transition process here. 2 websites to go to, so hit them up both, please. So I don't know who's making the decisions at this point. If you can hit both up, we'd appreciate it greatly. Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops. So thankful. You got cool stores. I hope everybody goes and checks them out. Now, incredible baseball conversation with a man who once threw a perfect game. Joining us now is a legend in baseball, a man who hosts the Dialed In radio show that is on this channel at 2 p.m. American Standard Time. He's just a legend of a man, ladies and gentlemen. Dallas Braden.
Good morning, gentlemen. Ladies, I heard a voice in there as well. Good morning to all of you. How are you? Good luck on those scooters out there, $100. Clearly, Barstool needs to up the ante.
Yeah, he said it was going to be.
But,
there's some company dropping $100 bills around Indianapolis today, and the entire office got very excited. Everybody's hopping on scooters, and he said it's going to be like, what did you say?
Mad Max.
Yeah, it's going to be like a bunch of murders out there for $100.
It's gonna be that's the quickest way to purge the scourge of society right there. Hey, there's free money out here, you fucks. Go after it. Yep, you're getting bloodshed.
Hey, Dallas, I've been reading up on you because you're a freak athlete. 6'1", so I thought you were going to be taller when you guys made that asinine claim that you guys think you could beat every team in basketball. I thought you would be a little bit taller, but you're quite an impressive human being, Dallas. I'm very lucky to share a channel with you.
Well, likewise, my friend, I enjoy individuals who are coordinated not only at the top of their body, but the lower half as well. I've had some run-ins with some very intelligent, very talented individuals with their lower half. Pat, you seem like one of those individuals, kicking the ball as far as you have over the course of your career. And now look at you, a nice cushiony place out there in Heartland, all because foot-to-ball success. So I pride myself as well on an individual who can, move around athletically. One thing I want you to understand is that claim came from my co-host who stands
Dallas.
who stands at roughly 5'5" and a half with a heart on, and there is no fucking chance in hell he brings anything to the table. Pecan, I love you, America's favorite nut. but I don't know that you're busting much on the court for it.
Jesus, that is a beautiful thing. So pitching and punting. Now, granted, you have to do a lot more of it in a game than me. They're both crafts. You know, you have to be a specialist in your craft. You have to hone in muscle memory, all that shit. Now, with that being said, pitchers aren't known for being great batters. I have no idea if you are, but I am stepping into the batter's box for the first time in my entire life on Thursday night against a semi-professional. What are some things I should think about in there?
One, pray. Make sure the will is in order. Make sure all that testament shit is taken care of. Because there's a lot of people living on your nipple, Pat, that if you go down, brother, you know what I mean? Shit's going to hit the fan.
They got that
We have an
insurance.
insurance policy.
They have insurance. If I die, they all
There you
make
go.
a bunch of
All
money.
right.
Yeah.
There you
so
go.
it's good.
Check that box. The next one, let me give you some advice. Get up on the dish, all right? And hold your bat out. Don't waggle. The bat waggle, you see guys, you know, they waggle back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You want some intimidation here? This is what you do. You don't waggle the bat at all. Don't go up there with any batting gloves either, because between you and I, let's be real, probably not going to help. So just go up there, fucking raw dog, all right? You're looking. I want you to look this guy up. Look up Evan Gaddis. I want you to look that guy up, okay? And you're going to go up to the plate just like him. But again, don't waggle. You just grab the bat. You're right-handed, I assume, so it's going to be in your left hand at this time, and you just hold it out at him, just staring
Straight
at him.
at his face?
Just straight at his fucking face. A blank stare, because you're going to get into the box. You're a presence. You're a mountain of a man.
Yeah,
you step into the box, he's going to be able to feel you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to let him know, look, motherfucker, you throw this over the plate, it's going to be action. It's going to be, but he doesn't know that you have no chance in hell, unless he's listening, which he probably is. So you go up there, you stare at him with that fucking stick in your hand, and you let him know, this is your life on the line, fucker. You want to make a move, go ahead and throw that shit over the plate. It's going to get smacked right back up the box. That's what you do. That's your intimidation. Be a presence.
Okay, hold on though, Dallas. Like so much motivation in there, and then just backhanded compliments all the way through the whole thing. You think I have no chance, huh?
I mean, let's be real. When's the last time you actually made contact bat to ball? When's the last time you squared something up not on a Saturday night?
Funny you say that. Respect. Also on Tuesdays and Thursdays, my lady and I get down. But like yesterday, they were pitching a hockey ball at me, like a hockey ball at me yesterday. No, ball hockey. It's like a little orange
Like a
ball.
floor hockey ball.
Yeah, it's like a floor hockey ball. They were throwing.
Oh, okay, I got you.
They were throwing it to me yesterday. We got a kid in here named Ty Schmidt. He played in college. He's got a little bit of a hose. They were throwing at me just to see if I could make contact, and I think I was doing okay, Dallas. I was squaring it up a bit. That's what everybody in the office was saying. I was squaring it up, which
How far was young Tyrus away from you? I think that's the first thing we need to get squared away. How far away was this?
Probably like 50 feet. We were just trying to, obviously I wasn't going to be burning them in there at him, so we were just trying to get them.
Are you
to a little
lefty, righty,
quicker.
high three-quarter arm angle, straight over the top, side slinger? What do you? I need to know what you're working with.
Right-handed, three-quarter.
Right-handed, low three-quarter.
Yep.
D1, D2. Let me ask. Probably NAIA.
No.
Iowa.
Yeah, walk on it, Iowa.
Oh, walk on an Iowa. All right. So rejected. So
take it easy on Ty. Ty doesn't deserve this. Ty does not deserve this, Dallas. He was just trying to help me out.
Okay, well, Ty, then I completely apologize, and I appreciate the effort, because you don't want to watch Pat go out there and fall straight on his face. All I'm getting at, Pat, is I feel like you might have been better served, knocking on the front door of a convalescent home and getting some swinging. I don't know that Ty is really bringing the noise, but good luck to you. Good luck. So I mean, how do you feel in your swing? Let's on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're rolling out there with your swing, you're rolling out there with a blank swing, and it can be a round number. It could be a 7.4. One swing. Everybody knows the rules.
So after yesterday, I'm feeling as if I'm 8-8-9-1, 8-8 to 9-1. I feel real good. I got a Ken Griffey swing to me. I got a real Ken Griffey swing to me, Dallas. I think I'm taking 1 fucking yard on Thursday. I honestly believe that.
What are the odds on that? Where do I fucking go? What's your bookie's name? What is his number?
So there's no home run bet, but you go to my bookie right now. You can bet plus 175 for a hit, minus 250 for not a hit. You can make some money. Maybe you pay my employees too, since they're ready to kill people for $100.
I love. I think, Pat. You know what? if you're sitting there, if you're hovering between an 8-9 and a 9-1 on comfort level with your swing, that's got at least a double written on it. I would think at least a double written on it.
Dallas, that's where the issue is. It's either a single or a home run. I ain't making it all the way to second. I haven't ran in a long time, Dallas.
All the way to second. I just got done blowing you about being talented with your roller. you can't get out there to say it. So come on, Pat. It's only 180 feet. And, I mean,
that's a long fucking way right
what
there.
do you think the pitcher's approach is going to be? Blow by him or try to embarrass him with some junk?
That is a great question, Dallas. Let's remember that this is a bush league, literally a
independent league,
bush league. So they don't have the same mindset as you.
Yeah, no, you will. There's a solid chance the first ball that comes in is going to be somewhere up around the head or neck area, and there's a good chance it's going to be behind you. Because he will be employing the same tactics I'm trying to give you to take out on the battlefield, which is intimidation. Okay. So he's going to see you step into that box, and he's going to go, all right, look. I've got 7 guys behind me, 1 guy behind him. I can throw this fucker right at him or right behind him, and there's a solid chance that he gets tackled before he gets to me. The 7 guys behind me meet me at the mound before he gets to me with that catcher on his back. Pat's got no fucking chance. That's what he's thinking in his mind.
Okay.
So here comes the heater from the bush leaguer. There's a good chance 89, 92, no shot where it's going.
That's what they're
in your rib cage.
That is what they're saying. That's what
there's a good chance. That's more than likely that is what you are going to get. So he's probably, look, he wants to lay his nuts out there. Fastball, because you don't get any credit for punching out a guy who's never swung a bat at a competitive level, throwing sliders and curveballs.
Yes.
That's no fun. Here, my cock, your cock, let's see who's That's how it goes.
Okay, so you think straight, hey, I'm going to be up 1-0 in the count. That's all I heard from you there early when you said he's going to throw it behind me. So
Yes,
I'm up 1-0.
exactly.
So
I'm up 1-0.
I feel really good. I can take a hack at something if I like it. But you think he's coming straight heater, huh? This is real cock versus cock. This is man on man. This is me versus you type situation.
That's the way it's got to be, because there's no. I mean, I know this video doesn't exist, but Dave Portnoy, when I joined the roster, he brought me out there to New York to live every man's dream, right? You want to stare down the man who threw a perfect game, and you want to stare down the man. Well, Dave Portnoy got it shoved directly and firmly right up that $100 million valuation ass. Square up that ass. No footage exists. Can't find it on the internet. Can't see it. So that has got to be the approach. That's the only reason you joined this thing. Portnoy wasn't getting no fucking slider. You're getting the old number 1, pal, the cheese biscuit. I hope you're hungry because it's time to fucking eat.
It is time to eat. I can't wait to get good wood on it. Maybe hit a piss missile right over that pitcher's head. What happens to the pitcher's confidence if a man who has never played baseball a day in his life, never ever stepped into a batter's box, has no clue what's happening, gets a hit on him? Is he going to be mentally crushed for the rest of his career? Could this be a career ender for him?
It better be a career ender. Are you kidding me? Anybody in that dugout, if you are friends with him, if his name remains in your phone after he gives up the hit to Pat, you're a bigger asshole than he is. All right? And there's a solid chance by the end of the night you'll be able to get that man to sell you a bag of peanuts or popcorn, because he's going to be up in the concession stand looking for another fucking job, Pat.
All right. I got to ask you one real question.
Okay, I'm in.
You're throwing the perfect game, 7th inning, 8th inning. Everybody stops talking to you, kind of treat you like you're a weirdo, or is everything normal?
No, I was honestly, dude, I've always felt this way. I was never good enough to be that hard ass like every day.
Yep.
I was a fucking lunatic. So I needed to, on my one day of work, I needed to focus in. You know, I felt like my teammates deserved that from me. They deserved somebody who is selling out every bit of the emotion and mental fortitude that I have for them for this day for at least 9 innings. That was my mindset. Every day in between, I'm the guy who's lightening the load because, look, it's a long fucking grindy season and we need to have some fun playing this game. But on my day, the focus was heightened. But I was never, on that day or any other day in between, guys never talked to me, whether it just didn't matter at any level, A-ball, AA, AAA. On my start day, don't fucking talk to me. My grandmother would not even call me. She just don't even. She used to come over to the house for tickets and take care of the dogs and stuff before I would go to the game. And it was very, people would be awkward if they were at the house, because my grandma would come in and I wouldn't even talk to her. Like, I'm not looking at you. I'm not talking. You're not on my radar. Unless you're stepping in the box with a bat, now I'm going to fucking drill you. Get out of my house.
What is that? what is that? Kevin Costner in The Rookie? What's that movie when the pitcher?
Perfect Pitch?
No, the
Love for the Game.
It's love when the pitcher actually I went to a kicking camp when I was in college, and they were trying to teach like this one. It was like a sports psychiatrist stopped in to speak for something, and they basically showed the movie where the pitcher was like just blocking out the entire stadium or whatever.
He would say-
That's called perfect. That's the for Love of the Game, and that's called Clear the Mechanism.
Yeah, there it
That's
is.
what he would say.
He would say Clear the Mechanism.
Did
And
you
that's
have
when-
something like that, or was it just like a game day was like that for you, basically?
No, that's how game day was. And on that specific day, Pat, to be real, like it was Mother's Day. I lost my mom in high school, yada yada. But Mother's Day had always been kind of shitty for me. So, like in full disclosure, I was boxed the night before. It was a day game, 1 o'clock. My grandmother was at the stadium in Oakland before I got out of bed in Stockton, California.
So you hold on. So boxed. I don't think I know what that means. Box means
I was hungover, just wearing it, completely fucking wearing the night before. Completely
nice.
wearing
Had a
the
little
night
runaway before you got out there on Mother's Day. I like that a lot. And then you
Yeah,
go perfect. A perfect game after being hungover. I mean, everybody can get off of alcohol's dick there. I think at that point.
before. I mean, it's no Doc Ellis no hitter on acid. You know what I mean? I strive to be great in my own way, but it was pretty cool. But like I said, dude, I was never the super focused guy every day, just on my one day.
As a superstitious, as a pitcher, did you think about getting hammered the night before your next start?
Yes, I did. I absolutely did. The only issue, dude, is so like I had a 2-day rule over the course of my career. No alcohol 2 days before my start because I'm a big DOMS guy, DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. Pat, you're probably familiar with this.
Nope.
And so for me, okay, well, my body would dehydrate. Like I just
Gotcha.
alcohol in me. Like I'm not having one drink. I'm in it to lose my fucking mind.
Oh, yeah.
and forget. Yeah, so that's how I roll. So I had the 2-day thing, but yeah, superstition. The next game out was in Anaheim, and I'm thinking, yeah, I should probably come stumbling in like 4 or 5 o'clock from the Grove, getting after it. But no, that was not the case. Again, I knew that what had just happened the week before was probably a fucking farce. There's still, I believe the baseball gods are still trying to figure out a way to take that away from me and give it to somebody who deserves it, and I'm fine with that. But it ain't going fucking nowhere. So that's how I'm rolling.
I love the thought though that before the next time you're like, all right, what exactly did I drink?
Yeah, it was too. I had a couple 40s, and then we started getting on the hard A, some JMO, and then the 30 box was done. And yeah, like my grandmother jokes about it because she walked in the house the next morning, and there's fucking 40 bottles everywhere. There's probably 50 plus beer cans just all over the kitchen counter, in the living room, on the island, just shit everywhere. And my grandma like walks into that, and she knows how I roll. Like, what the fuck happened in here? You're pitching tomorrow.
You have DOMs. Dallas, you have DOMs. What are we doing here? Hey, did you end the game with fastball? Did you end the game with fastball?
I did. It was actually kind of crazy, man. So I got Gabe Kapler up, who's a cerebral guy, does his scouting reports and shit. And the count is 2-1. And I throw a fastball down and away. And I'm so just kind of locked into what's going on. For me, it was a pretty good fucking pitch. So I'm thinking, that's a strike. So in my head, the count is 2-2. But in real life, in the real world, where everybody else is paying attention, the count is actually 3-1. So in my head, 2-2, I'm thinking, all right, Gabe Kapler is sitting soft away, 2-2, because that's my MO. Well, I'm not going soft away. I'm going hard in with a fastball here. So the first and only time I shook off my catcher was the last pitch of the game. And he wanted to throw changeup because at 3-1, that is exactly what I would have done. I would have thrown a changeup to get back to 3-2 or to have him being aggressive in that count, weakly hit my changeup. So in my head, again, I've got the wrong count. It's 2-2 in my head, but not in the real world. So I throw the 2-2 fastball on the inside part of the plate, get Gabe Kapler, who's looking out over the plate. I tie him up. He hits it off the inside part of the bat, rolls over to shortstop. Cliff Pennington picks it up, throws it over to Derek Barton to first, and the rest is history. We lose our mind. And so after
The catcher thought you were a genius for calling that off. The catcher thought you were a genius.
So after the game, they're talking about. I'm hearing the replay and the radio guy, and the 3-1 count. And I said, Ken, 3-1. Are you drunk? Shut fucking 3-1. I'm giving him shit. The biggest call of your life, Ken, and you fuck it up. Like, God, people are going to remember this forever. And he's like, Dallas, count was 3-1. No, Ken, the count was fucking 2-2. The fastball away. I had to have it replayed for me to realize that I was wrong. I was wrong. I had no fucking idea. I had no clue.
So that's what you mean by the baseball people trying to take that away from you and give it to somebody more deserving. Maybe a pitcher that knows the count.
Yeah, the baseball gods, or a pitcher whose arm didn't fall off fucking 10 minutes later, was able to be serviceable at the major league level. Yeah.
Hey, Dallas, I'm a big Yankees fan. Just curious, did you ever bury the hatchet with A-Rod, or did the media make a much bigger deal about that?
We never buried the hatchet. They did make a huge deal about it, but A-Rod is not somebody that I'm looking to hang out with. He's not somebody great. Actually, great story.
Can't wait to hear it. Great question, Ty. Let's go get the record countdown, Gonzo, for this A-Rod story from Dallas. Braden, please, Gonzo. Thank you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Excited about
We had the same agent at the time, and I'm out for my birthday in L.A. here. Shouts to Katana, one of my favorite sushi joints. And I'm fucking, no free ads, smashed, just boxed, Pat. Completely boxed.
Yeah.
I've gone through fucking, every bit of the sake they had to offer, I was tasting. Just give it all to me.
It's your birthday. You deserve it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So we finished up, and I'm quite literally stumbling out of the place, and my wife is in front of me, and I walk by this table, and this arm reaches out and like grabs me. And again, I'm 3 sheets to the way, I'm not paying, and I'm like, I fucking turn around, I'm like, huh? And I'm audible. So what I'm telling you right now is how I was acting in that very moment. I get grabbed and I go, huh? And I turn, and it's fucking A-Rod sitting down with like 3 other people at the table, and he's like, hey man, how's it going? I just wanted to stop you and say you've been doing a great job on TV. I really enjoy watching you. And he said that, and I go, this fucking guy. I said it just like that. Oh, this fucking guy. And everybody just kind of turns and looks at us like, what the and now, okay, so now it's like, oh, fuck, A-Rod is here. And like, nobody knows who I am, but they're like, who's this fucking clown that A-Rod's talking to? And I'm just like swaying back and forth. And he like introduces the people at the table. They've all reached their hands out to like say hello or whatever. I completely fucking stiff arm all of them. Nope, I don't know any of you.
Oh,
what do we want here right now? And I look at him and I say, what do you got? Like, huh? What are we doing here? And he was like, yeah, Danny was telling me, oh, happy birthday too, by the way. And I'm going, what the fuck is going on in my universe right now that A-Rod has stopped me at my
So wait, you guys hated each other before this? It was like known that you guys didn't like each other before this terribly awkward encounter at Katana?
Yeah, that was because of what had occurred between us on the field, where he ran across the mound and I took a major fucking issue with that because, I mean, you can look at the video, Patty. He's fucking, I mean, come on. This guy's about 8 inches away between me and the rubber. He is between me and the, I got a fucking problem with that, bro.
Yeah, you do. That's your sanctuary.
Absolutely. That's my office. Like I told him, if you don't see me running laps around the batter's box, you know what I mean? You want to run laps around the mound? Go to the fucking bullpen and get your cardio in. So hold
on. The YouTube video I just looked up says Dallas Braden flips out. Is that's the title of it?
Yeah, there's a good chance. And if you get all the way to the end, you'll really enjoy that because I'm losing my shit. I'm yelling at him and I yell at him, hey, get the fuck off my mound. And he turns around. And he looks at me like, what is kind of going on, And he like, did he say? And I said, yeah, get the fuck off my mound. So he walks back to first base, and he asks our first baseman, Derek Barton, hey, is he yelling at me? Is he talking to me? And Barton's like, no, he's a weirdo. He talks to himself all the time on the mound. Like, don't. And that was true. So there wasn't anything thought of it. Well, Cano grounds into a double play, ends the inning, and I just start heading towards second base to A-Rod. Like the play is happening, and I'm fucking going to second base. So I'm going to give him a piece of my mind, and I'm chirping and yelling at him.
Oh my God, I'm watching this. So there was a foul ball. This Yankees player hits a foul ball. A-Rod was originally on first. He tries to get to third. Then to get back from third to first, because nothing happened.
Where he's at. And look at where he's at. Look at where that son of a bitch is.
He jogs right across the mound. He gets all the way back to first base, and they're showing you as if you're up for a pitch again, and you're screaming at him at this moment, I believe. Yep, he just jogged through there it is. He jogs through your mound. You're yelling at A-Rod. He gets back to first base, and you are losing your shit completely.
Yeah, I'm not happy. Not happy at that moment in time. So I needed to take a little tip from our boy Kevin Costner and clear the mechanism and get back in and try to get the out. So I get the double play and A-Rod, because he's fucking fat and slow and a broken fucking hip at the time. Wasn't able to get to second base, so he just peeled off. And then again, that's where I start going after, and I'm chirping and yelling. The umpires come out, manager grabs me, yada, 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 and I'm being forced back to the dugout. I'm still talking shit on the way back to the dugout, and that's when you'll see he just kind of like waves me off, like, get the fuck out of here.
There was a big shrug off there from A-Rod. Let's talk about this, though. You appear to be the bad guy in this whole situation. Just want to let that be known. A-Rod doesn't normally look good, but you appear to be the bad guy in this situation, so I love that you doubled down on it at Katana at your birthday, where he goes, hey, he wants to stop and talk to you, and you go, you ran on my mound. You ran on my mound 2 years ago. I love that, Dallas.
Not happy about it, man. Not happy. The fucking worst part about it, though, Pat, is at the end of the clip, as I'm sure you'll see, I enter the dugout furious. I'm throwing shit. I kick a fucking giant stack of Gatorade cups, and it hits the back wall and comes careening back and hits me squarely in the forehead. And there is just nothing you can do after that. There's not, like, I was ready to fight for God and country, and in a matter of 2 seconds, I wanted to just crawl under the fucking dugout bench. Like, please don't look at me. Because if you get to the end of that clip, that's the best. I kick the cups, boom, they come flying back right in the head, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
So since then, have you talked to A-Rod? Since the Katana birthday, this fucking guy, stiff handshake to the whole table while A-Rod's trying to wish you a happy birthday. You still are not happy about what had happened between you two. Have you talked to him since then?
I have not. I have not. We're not fucking pen pals. It's not like we're texting.
I love that grudge so bad.
If I saw him out in it, like, no, I'm not. No, I'm good, man. We're all good. We're all good. Like, there's a line that I really like, and I've used it a few different times in some really awesome moments, and comes from my man Doc Holliday, and it just. Forgive me if I don't shake hands.
Oh, my God.
And it is one of my favorite things to drop, because people, like, I thrive on that awkwardness, that awkward situation. Like, I am at an all-time comfort level in those awkward situations, because I just don't get uncomfortable like that with other people. So if I'm telling you I'm not going to shake your hand, I'm now here for your reaction. I'm not worried about what you think about me. I'm here for your reaction. So I'm all in on shit like that.
Oh, I love a good grudge holder, too. That sounds like you're one of the best. I like that a lot. Hey, Dallas, I appreciate you, man. Just one final thought for me before the game Thursday, before we hang up here.
Yep. What do you got?
No, from you to me.
No, I don't. It's the best of luck, Pat. It's the best of luck. You know, you're walking into this thing with a clear head and a full heart, and I hope you don't leave with a bloody lip and on a stretcher. That's really all we're hoping for. So the best of luck to you, my friend.
Oh, this fucking guy. Dallas, I appreciate you, man. Have a great one. All right, we got to get to a break. Ladies and gentlemen, perfect game holder, legend, Dallas Braden. Thank you so much for joining us. He basically told me I got no shot. No shot at all, he said. He said I have no shot.
Yeah, he did.
He's underestimating you.
Are you doing the point? Are you going to point your bat at the pitcher?
I'm not going to do that, by the way. Wow. I don't want to get one. I want to have like a real at bat. Like I don't want to piss old buddy off. First of all, no, I don't want to piss old buddy off.
It's also I like that you're doing this because you're taking it serious. and it's not disrespectful to the Washington Wild Things, who are on a tear right now.
They're number one in the league.
Yeah.
They're number one in their league, and the right fielder, they're like, hey, by the way, can't start. Can't start. Yeah, we have a sellout and everything like that. Yeah, you can't start.
He's the first person you got to go talk to. Huh?
Yeah, okay, guys, I am so sorry that this is happening, but I need at least one hit. So this could be a 2-at-bat situation that you could be.
He's probably going to say, you know what, it's fine. I enjoy the fucking night off.
Yeah.
Probably got some good tips for you, too.
You're right. He's probably an ally, you think?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I don't know if he's an ally. You think he's an ally?
I do.
I think so.
Okay, good. I can't
Listen,
wait to go
those
talk to him.
seasons are so fucking long. They welcome that night off.
Yeah, and also for good reason here. There's also a lot of money being raised for the military,
Correct.
by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good thing, and I can't wait. I'm not going to stare. I'm not going to point the bat at the guy. I'm not going to go through the pitcher's mound. Is there any other couth things I should know about in baseball, like not to do to piss anybody off? It's going to be hilarious. I'm going to be mic'd up the entire time. I got an earpiece to Diggs, Todd. Sean's going to be roaming the crowd. Ty's going to have any. I'm going to be. It's going to be entertaining no matter what happens.
If you do go yard, you better flip your fucking bat.
To the moon.
I don't know what a bat. So the bat flip is you just throw it.
Oh, yeah.
So a bat flip is just a bat toss.
Pretty much.
So usually people do it at the end of their swing too.
Watch
And they just light up.
watch Brett Boone flipping a bat.
Okay, I'll watch Brett Boone. I'll learn that.
Joey Bats had a good one.
If I hit a home run, by the way, I don't know how I'm going to act.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm
I
gonna
think
I
you
don't
should
know
let it
how
come
I'm gonna
natural.
react.
You should let it come natural.
what I do.
Yeah, you shouldn't look at anybody else's.
I'm
You should be
assuming.
you.
So last night in my head, I visualized a few at bats and hit a couple home runs. And I'll tell you what, it was hard not to Ric Flair down the first.
I think you should Kirk Gibson around first base,
Yeah.
too.
the arm.
Yeah.
If you hit a homer, you have every right to pimp the shit out of it.
Pimp the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Is that
Oh,
how
yeah.
we describe this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like that a lot.
That'd be
Okay.
so funny if the pitcher hits the next guy, just like
Beans him, and then I gotta fight. Then I gotta come out of the fucking thing. What is it? Dugout.
Yeah.
I gotta come out of the
the bench.
dugout.
I think you're going to like the dugout. The dugout is an awesome place to be.
It is.
Foxy's gonna be filming in there.
Everyone's just dipping, fucking chewing seeds, just bullshitting, having a good time.
Foxy's gonna be filming there, so we'll have a camera in there. A camera being everywhere is what you need to be safe and secure in the modern world that we're in.
That is smart.
Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Having a camera is just a little added sense of security, and it makes you just feel a lot better about things. In 2017, the Better Business Bureau heard more than 5,000 complaints about alarm companies.
Oh.
Do you know that?
That's a lot.
A lot. Because they were selling the sense of security that they just weren't finding out to be true.
Yeah.
Which is absolute bullshit. That puts home security in the top 10% of the most complained about industries on earth. Here's how you fix home security. You do what my friends over at Simply Safe did. Simply Safe got rid of contracts and hidden fees. They work hard to earn their customers' business instead of relying on tricks and fine print.
Oh,
Asterisk season, no more.
good.
No more asterisks.
Nay.
See you later, small print.
Don't lock me into some bullshit.
No bullshit.
Not up in here.
Not up in here. Simply Safe is a company that treats you right. How rare is that today? Question mark. A company that relies on good service and a great product to earn your business. I've known Simply Safe for years, and they are good people. It's why they've got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau for 10 years running.
Wow.
It's a decade and rolling. And there are over 40,000 five-star reviews online. Simply Safe is what home security should be. You're getting the best protection, period. Learn more about Simply Safe today at simplisafe.com/McAfee. That's simplysafe.com/MCAFEE to protect your home and family with an A+ home security system. Simplysafe.com/McAfee. We have them in the office. I have them in my house. It's you log into an app and you have eyes.
So easy to set up.
You have eyes
It just goes
everywhere.
right in your
We got one in
Wi-Fi.
our house now after Diggs told everyone on the internet where we lived.
Oh, yeah, good idea by the dicks.
I also feel a lot safer because we were just doing the home security where it's just a sticker on the door and it's not an actual real thing.
Yeah.
Yep, it's not like beware, this house has an alarm system and they don't.
Yep.
This is a very, very, very affordable way to have a very, very high security system, because I've had security systems put in my house before and I paid a gross amount because security is a big deal.
Right.
And it was nowhere near as good as this Simply Safe is.
No way, yeah,
You log
I
into
agree.
an app, bing, bang, boom. It records for you if there's movement already, and you see exactly. Simply Safe has been legit. I'm happy they got on board with us because I've had them for a long time.
Hats
so now
off.
I can actually talk about them.
Hats off to them.
Hats off to Simply Safe. 40,000 five-star reviews.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's so many. That is so many. Speaking of five-star, We had a 5-star conversation with a basketball guy earlier. Tonight is the draft. It's also, I mean, big baseball game, but tonight is also the NBA draft. Here's a little basketball knowledge. All up in your face. Joining us now is a former NBA executive. He's now all over Sirius, ESPN, Around the Horn, everything like that. You might have seen him on America's Ninja Warrior looking terrible, but that does not mean his brain isn't a solid one. He's Sudanese. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow him at Darth Amin El Hassan. Kazi.
He's blown away.
Kazi.
Yeah, right. I said that's an intro right there.
Oh, I appreciate that. I felt pretty good about.
That's a hell of an intro.
I appreciate it. You're a monster of a man. You've been everywhere. You've done everything. It's very impressive. Your NBA knowledge is probably second to none. Now, granted, I don't know if that's a real competition or not, but I'm very, very thankful you're joining us today.
I appreciate you having me on.
No problem. So the draft is on Thursday. A lot of big things happening in the NBA world. I don't know how the NBA draft is viewed amongst viewers. Is it like the NFL draft? Is it that big of a deal? I'm not sure. I knew they did the lottery thing during the finals. I don't know how it's going to happen. But who do you see going first? There's a lot of moves happening in the NBA right now. I saw Dwight Howard moved. There's a lot of things. The NBA seems to be getting hot right now. What are some things we should look out for, not only with the draft, but also with some trades going on, Amin?
Well, first of all, NBA draft, I think, outranks NFL draft because NFL draft is basically just about the draft, right? It's just about who's going where, what's my team getting, or whatever. And the NBA draft is you have the draft, and then you have all these trades that are happening. And because our free agency happens after the draft, as opposed to NFL's, where their free agency happens before the draft, a lot of these moves that we'll see this week are trying to set teams up for July 1, where everyone goes shopping. And so... Yeah, so embedded in this who's going to go in the top 5 conversation, you also have where's Kawhi Leonard going to land, right? Because he's requested a trade from San Antonio. San Antonio is desperately trying to salvage that relationship, try to do the baby please, baby I'm sorry, baby it won't ever happen again with him, right? And then you layer on top of that, you've got what's happening with LeBron James. What's he going to do? Where is he going to go? Is he going to come west? And then layered on top of that is you got guys like Chris Paul and Paul George are both free agents. And so we've got a lot of moving parts. And so teams are trying to position themselves to make moves, not only for draft purposes, but also for free agency.
Do you think LeBron's staying in Cleveland, or do you think he's going to Houston, L.A., or Philly?
I don't think he's staying in Cleveland.
Not good for the dog pound, the people in Cleveland.
Look, they know. Let me put it this way. They know. Because we were in Cleveland for the finals, and it wasn't like this brooding rage that LeBron better not leave. It was kind of a, thanks for the memories. We appreciate your championship. Now we know you're gonna probably leave now. And part of that acceptance, obviously, is because he won one for him. The other part of acceptance is everyone looked and saw that team. It wasn't a good team. No. He willed that team to the finals. And so it's just not feasible to ask him to come back and play with that same cast of characters. That's not a good supporting cast. Now, does Cleveland have a chance of keeping him? Absolutely. If they can make a move to acquire a real talented sidekick, right? So if they can trade for a Kawhi Leonard, if they can demonstrate some sort of ability to sign a Paul George and come July 1. But I think we all agree that's probably highly unlikely. And given that that's probably not going to happen, he's going to probably lose.
See ya, cuz. What's going to happen in the draft? Is there any players in the draft this year that are franchise changers, or is this just kind of like another ho-hum draft?
Somewhere in the middle. The guy that I love that's not going to go number 1 for some reason is Luka Doncic. He's a Slovenian kid who plays in Spain. He was the Spanish League MVP. He was the EuroLeague MVP. He is the most accomplished European player at the age of 19 ever. I've known about him and watched him since he was about 16 years old. And he's something else. He's something else, but at the same time, is he good enough to put on a terrible team and they'll be great? No. I think he's the type of player that makes other good players way better. And that's important and that's valuable. But obviously, if you already had other great players, you probably wouldn't be bad enough to draft them number 1 or number 2 overall. Then the other guys, I think they're all some sort of mix of, can be really good players, all-star players. But, again, if you're asking me, is there an Anthony Davis? Is there a LeBron James? Is there one of the Ben Simmons, one of those type of number one overall picks in this draft? I would say no.
Got you. So there's no Larry Birds. Got it.
No, not walking through that door.
Okay. So whenever you talk about basketball, marketing is always like at top of the list. The NBA does the best job of marketing. They allow people to share their videos on the internet with no problems. Nike's in the game. Everybody seems to have their own shoe. Now Puma and Jay-Z are getting involved. Do you think this is going to have an effect on the shoe market at all in the NBA?
Well, I mean, it always starts with the talent, right? Like, you can have Jay-Z attached. Beyonce could do a Puma theme song. Rihanna can be in every single commercial. If you don't have a dude that motivates people to buy sneakers, then none of that matters. And when I mean motivates, it's not just you being great on the floor. Kawhi Leonard is great on the floor, and Jordan Brand offered him reportedly something like $4 million a year, right? That's basically because he doesn't motivate people. Motivate people is like Kyrie Irving. Motivate people is like LeBron James. Like, these are guys that not only are great on the floor, but also they have a cool factor, an it factor about them that makes people want to wear their shoes. So I think that's the big thing for Puma. It's like, it's cool that you got Jay-Z. It's cool that Rihanna and Usain Bolt and all these other people who are cool in their own right are associated with the brand. But the next level is they signed Bagley, signed Ayton. Both of those guys are big. And last I checked, bigs don't sell sneakers.
Oh, so you're saying no shot? You just said it right here. You just said, Amin Al-Hassan just said that Puma has no fucking shot. I heard it.
This is how they'll have a shot. That's what I'll say. When you get to sign guys who are going to go top 5 in the draft, it does send a message to future draft classes and other players that, hey, these guys are big time. They're spending money. They named Jay-Z creative director. That ain't cheap, right? Hope ain't coming for an internship. He's coming for So if I'm a player of, like a guard or a wing coming up in the draft in following years, I'm looking at that like, they got money like that. They got to sign these guys. Maybe I will consider them. So it's a good first step. But if you're asking me, like, if Marvin Bagley's shoe is going to take the nation by storm, I'm going to say no.
It's chess, not checkers, you're saying. I get it. Chess, not checkers.
There you go.
All right, I got
There you go.
I mean, can you explain to me the Kawhi to Phoenix rumors? Because that just doesn't make
and what's
any
up with
sense
Kawhi in San Antonio too? What the Kawhi saga is quite an interesting one. It's becoming a polarizing thing among people. Mad at Kawhi, mad about everything. It's an interesting situation.
Yeah, the thing with Kawhi was it started. The conversation for this year was he's got a quad injury. The doctors, the medical staff said, "Oh, you're cleared." He says, "But I don't feel right, and I'm not ready to go play until I feel right." And ended up, basically playing only 8 games this year. So a lot of people are like, "Well, why don't you just trust the doctors, whatever?" Here's the backstory that a lot of people don't talk about. Kawhi Leonard has had injuries in the past that were diagnosed as "you're cleared." And then it turned out he wasn't clear. He had a wrist injury a couple of years ago, and then last year, obviously, the ankle injury that he had that he re-aggravated in the conference finals. So if you're Kawhi Leonard, and twice you've had an injury that the doctor said, "You're fine," and it turns out that you weren't really fine, the third time when you got an injury, and it's a pretty serious one, and you don't feel right, are you going to take their word for it? Of course not. That's his moneymaker. His body is his moneymaker, and so he's got to find a way to preserve that for not just this season, but for presumably 7-8 more years of playing in the NBA. So the Spurs obviously have a very tight culture, right? It's a very us versus them. So the idea that he would not play when their doctors say he's fine to play, even though there's a legitimate reason why he's not playing, they feel a certain type of way. Like, what, you don't trust our doctors? What, are you not trying to play? Are you not serious about this? You not care about the team, right? Yeah. And so what's happened is you get a lot of conversation because the Spurs leak, and the Spurs have media sources or whatever that go out and put out this gospel that he's not a team guy. And you got Tony saying, "Well, I had the same injury, and it was 100 times worse, and I came back." And all of this stuff is designed to paint him into a corner where he's going to feel guilt and come back and play. Kawhi Leonard's that type of dude. But guess what? Not only was he not painted into that corner, but now you've offended him, right? You've offended him by making the dude. Because here's the thing, guys. We talk every day about how athletes, you got to maintain your reputation. You got to do all the right things so that people give you the benefit of the doubt when things go wrong. This dude did everything right? Model citizen, competitor, finals MVP, hard worker, all this stuff. And now all of a sudden, because the first time he has a disagreement with the team, he's not a team guy. He's not
he wants to go to Rodeo Drive.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith loses his mind.
So if you're Kawhi, you can see why the relationship is frayed. It's not because I don't think it's because he wants to go to Rodeo Drive. I think it's because how dare you treat me like that? I'm not J.R. Smith or Lance Stevenson, like some clown. They're like, oh, of course he's not. Like I'm that dude, man. I won Finals MVP for you. I'm your franchise player, and I've done nothing but be a good citizen in every aspect of this game. And now you want to turn on me like that? I would feel some type of way as well.
Okay, so do you think he'll go to Phoenix? You have ties to Phoenix, I believe. Yeah, you have ties. You probably know some people in there. Are they looking for Kawhi? Is Kawhi going to go to a bigger team? Where's Kawhi going to end up, and what are you leaning towards? Is that happening tomorrow night?
Yeah, it might. I don't think it will because, again, the Spurs are in baby please mode. And baby please mode doesn't usually last just like 24 hours. It's got to be a little bit longer than that, right? But beyond that, if you're Kawhi has a player option on the 2019-2020 season. What that means is, ostensibly, next year could be his last year on this contract. So if you trade him to Phoenix, right? If you're Phoenix, you say, ooh, I really want Kawhi Leonard. I'll give you the #1 overall pick for him. And Kawhi's like, you want me to go to a team that's missed the playoffs 8 billion years in a row and was worse in offense and defense? That's really hard to do, guys. To be terrible at every aspect of basketball. You want me to do that? Guess what? I'll play this year. I'll opt out. See ya. You just gave a #1 pick for a rental, basically.
Well, so
that's kind of...
It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. Does Kawhi get to choose where he gets to go? Like, is he in these conversations, or is basketball like that? I don't know.
Yeah, basketball is like that when the player has leverage. And when you have 1 year left on your deal, the player has ultimate leverage because basically he can tell any would-be team that would acquire him that he doesn't like, yo, you can give up the sun and the moon and the stars for me, but guess what? 12 months from now, you're not going to have me or the sun and the moon and the stars, so you better think twice about what you're giving up. And so that shapes the conversation in terms of the teams that are offering stuff to the Spurs are not offering as much anymore. They're like, wait a second, why am I giving up a chance? Like, if you're the Suns, why am I giving up a chance for a franchise player for the next 10 years for 1 year of a guy that's not going to make a difference? We'll still be bad next year. And so the player controls the conversation in the sense that I'm going to give you 5 teams or 5 cities or whatever. And if it's anything out of those 5 cities, I'm not even going to listen to it. And that basically dictates where he gets traded.
Dwight Howard's still playing basketball. I had no idea. He just got traded to the Nets. He always gets painted as a bad player, a bad person, a bad locker room guy. But you never hear his teammates say anything. It's always media and coaches that say stuff. And sometimes coaches are bad, by the way. So is the Dwight Howard saga legacy tainted forever with how much he's bounced around and how the media and coaches have painted him in a bad light? Or is this all his fault? Is that he deserve it?
No, he deserves some of the blame because he didn't handle things the way. Again, sometimes we make mountains out of molehills, right? Like, what was his big sin? Because he smiled too much, because he was wishy-washy on whether he wanted to get traded, because him and Kobe didn't get along, or him and Harden didn't get along, quite per se. Like, these are all like minor things. People act like the guy had a vehicular homicide or a drunk charge or something like that. Guys, it's not that big of a deal, right? But at the same time, yeah, being wishy-washy kind of stinks. And yeah, pouting and not really cooperating with your teammates kind of stinks. And yeah, he's not the player he once was, and that's the biggest part. If he was Dwight Howard, who was in Orlando 6 years ago, with all these other issues, you live with it. That's how the NBA works, guys. Like, hey, he's this, he's that. But how good is he, right? I had a conversation. I'll never forget this. We were in the draft one time, and there was a player who had an active DEA investigation going on it, right? Mm-hmm. Guy, not just selling dime bags out of his dorm room. I'm talking about DEA target, right? But he was good.
Was
right?
it Swaggy P?
So we're watching all these. Yeah,
he just said legalized cocaine. I think. I'm sorry.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is wild. Yeah, I'm sorry I interrupted you right there. That was wild.
No, but anyway, so we're watching all these players, and then the coaches are like, "Okay, well, you got anyone else?" And we're like, And this other guy, he can play, but he's got absolute character red flag. He's got this thing going on, da-da-da. So we play the clip, and, like, after the third clip, when the coach says, now what kind of drugs was he selling? and that's the NBA right there. It's like, it doesn't matter what you do. Like, is it that bad? Like, you can justify anything if you can play.
Well, Amin, the classic saying, and it will always live on, is be who you can afford to be. That is exact. It's in the NFL, it's in the NBA, it's in every profession, basically. Be who you can afford to be. And I'll tell you what, Amin, at Darth Amin on Twitter, I think you can afford to do and be whatever the fuck you want. You're electric. I appreciate you joining us today, brother.
Thanks a lot, guys. Remember, Sirius Channel 86, Sundays, 10 to 1 Eastern.
No. Hold on. Amin, I'm supposed to read that. No, I'm supposed to read that.
Okay.
They actually told me I'm supposed to read that. So hold on one second. This is the first time I ever got an email telling me exactly what I'm supposed to say. Gonzo, if you could please give me a countdown. Amin, don't hang up yet. This is a reading situation. Go ahead, Gonzo.
5.
Thank you.
4.
Yep.
3.
I'm so nervous.
2.
Yep.
1.
Hear Amin El Hassan Sundays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NBA Insiders with Jason Jackson, and hear NBA draft and free agency coverage talk nonstop right now on Sirius Channel 207, XM Channel 86, and on your phone with the Sirius XM app. Just search NBA Radio. I feel like I nailed it. Bro, I know.
You're a pro.
Hey.
Give him a round of applause.
Hey, I appreciate that. Big thanks to Amino Acid for joining us. You're the absolute greatest. Thank you so much for all the NBA coverage and analysis. You're the absolute man. I hope you join us again, brother.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, at Darth Amin. So thank you for him. Amin El Hassan. Say it proper. That's on me for saying it wrong at all. He was I enjoyed him a lot. I learned a lot about basketball at the quickness, and his personality was electric. You can tell why he's all over the place. I'm very happy that he joined us. Very thankful that he joined us. Also joining us earlier is a guy in the Memorabilia Collection Hall of Fame, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know if it is Hall of Fame.
No,
If there
there's
was
not,
one,
but if
he'd
there
be
was
in it.
one.
He'd probably be the first guy in.
Yeah, it'd be a first ballot. For sure.
Legend in the Memorabilia. First ballot Hall of Famer, for sure. Probably the first Hall of Famer.
The inaugural guy to go in.
It'll probably be the Steiner Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it would just be him. It would be nobody else.
Something to think about. He should start putting other people in the Hall of Fame. That's how that he is the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That is what he should do. We should have told him that. Anyways, you're going to enjoy this conversation. Joining us now is a man who knows a lot about sports collectibles. He knows a lot about sports. He's in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, from Steiner Sports, Brandon Steiner.
Are you guys giving me a standing ovation, or are you? Or
no.
Well, thank you for having me. Very grateful. I'm a big fan as well. So thank you for having me, and it's a great day. A little sticky out there in New York, though, but good day.
Well, I would like to let you know that it's also sticky here in Indianapolis. I think we got like a tornado coming this afternoon. I couldn't ride my There's a lot of it was pretty wild. So I'm happy to hear it's also sticky in New York. It was not a standing ovation. We're a very lazy bunch. It was sitting down, but still a lot more jovial of a round of applause than most people get, because we're excited for this conversation with you, brother. Your brain is a good one.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't think I'd be around for 30 minutes. So to be in my 30th year and have our customers and our clients still like some of the crazy shit that I've been kind of, developing is a blessing. And I never take it for granted. And I'm very blessed to have a customer base that's very loyal to us. As you guys could understand that, because I think you guys have amazing loyalty listening to your show. And you work at it every day, and you love it. And that's what I do every day. I just try to come up with something crazy or something stupid or something more fun. And hopefully it keeps wowing people.
With that being said, you have blogs, you do your own podcast, you're a motivational speaker, you have books. Everybody seems to be in the collectibles game now. You go into any mall, there's collectibles everywhere. There's autographed things everywhere. And you're like the face of that whole thing. That has to feel pretty good to watch the industry kind of blossom, isn't it?
It's been fun. I mean, I think that the collectible thing is confusing, I think, and a lot of people throw that word in there. But like in most businesses, you're trying to figure out how to go sell as much as you possibly can, make as much as you can. But in the collectible business, you're trying to create products where you don't have enough. You're trying to create stuff that's going to be proprietary, unique, different, that no one else can get. And that's what drives people. Everybody kind of wants something that, you can't get or someone else can't get, but I got it. I have that Babe Ruth bat, or I've got that Mariano Rivera glove that he pitched in his last game, or a Peyton Manning football that was used in the actual game. So when I was really trying to expand I was trying to expand the business, because I realized that a lot of people didn't get it and didn't want any part of it. There was like a whole bunch of people that were saving everything. There were people that wanted no part of it. I think the Yankee relationship that I had was probably the game changer when it started getting people's attention. Like, hey, we better start tracking this stuff. We better keep track of it, because down the road it could be worth something. And that's a big part now. The players, the leagues, the teams, they're tracking all their stuff. They're keeping, they're putting an order to it, and that's what's helping the business really grow. Which about 12 years ago, when I did a Dodger deal, Cubs, Red Sox, partnered with them and put collectible deals in place with them. That's what got the business to really grow and the industry to start to stick.
Okay, so I have a question for you. So you're putting a lot of faith, I guess, in the teams to tell you things are legitimate or not. So, like, there was a year where Vinatieri broke the longest streak of made kicks in a row, right? So there was a couple K-balls that were being auctioned off and sold and stuff like that. And it was K-ball, it was like ball 7 and ball 6, which would never, ever make it into a real game, but it was a legit ball. So this guy shows up to me and Vinny at training camp asking if we can sign it. This was a ball that you kicked during your longest active streak, which whenever we looked at it, it was very clearly not a ball that we had ever touched. But I'm assuming that that guy was told that it was, both by the team, the league, and by whatever memorabilia person was selling that. Is that the case these days? You guys are putting a lot of faith in like the team or the leagues telling you guys the truth, or how do you find out if things are real or not? Because that I've seen things sold that aren't my autograph on them either. People were like, tweet me with a picture or something and it's not my autograph. How do you guys legitimize that stuff? That has to be quite a challenge these days.
I think it's a great question. It's a great view, and it's probably the new dilemma. I mean, the business has been cleaned up as far as the autographs being real or not. You can go to a lot of different independent authenticators, and they do a pretty good job on getting, whether it's real or not. But when you get to the game use stuff, it's a lot more complicated. Now, the NFL are looking at putting chips in the items so you can actually trace, where those items came from, when they were used. The big thing with game use is photo matching, because there's so many photographers now at games. If you really wanted to get down and dirty on that football or any of these items that are used in a game versus not used in a game, you go and do the photo match. And there's very, very specific things you look for in a product, even on a football or a jersey, the stitching, where that print is. Remember, every ball gets printed, and where that ball gets printed, you can actually, when you blow up a photo, really look at exactly where it got printed against the seams of the football and everything else. You can really match up that versus the ball that was actually used in the actual kick to prove whether it was used or not. And that's what we've been doing much more of now, is very, very intense. I mean, it would take several hours to actually prove that a ball sometimes was used in a game or a jersey was used in a game, particularly when you get to some of the jerseys and a player hasn't gotten dirty, there's no dirt marks or any scuff marks in a specific spot, you're getting into seams and the width of one line versus another line, or where a number was placed. But, the good news is that there are a lot of photos matching available and photos available because of online, and you can go find a whole array of photos for a particular moment or game to match up. And that's kind of what has to go down. Like, there is no more having a belief in a team or in a league, really. It's really comes down to the photo matching, or having independent authenticators like they do at baseball, like the Yankee games. We have an independent authenticator that's stickering things as it literally comes off the field to prove that it's there, and then documenting who wore it, who used it, and what happened. So that kind of takes a lot of care of what happens in baseball. And then the other leagues are slow to catch up. Some of them are doing this, some of them are doing that, but so a lot of it comes down to photo matching.
That's a great answer, by the way, just for future reference.
I mean, it's because it's a serious subject matter you brought up. You skipped the potatoes and got right to the meat. I expect nothing less from you guys, but it's true. I mean, it should be a concern. People are paying a lot of money for that stuff, and we got to get better at it as an industry, because people are really interested in it, but they want to know it's real.
Yep, and it really is the industry's question, I think. Now let's get to this, though. You've been around for so long. I have a Steiner piece of memorabilia in my office right behind me. It's the Mike Tyson Punch-Out picture where he signs it right next to him, and I see your Steiner sticker right in the lower right corner. It's still wrapped and everything like that. This was gifted to me, so it's an honor to have you inside of me, Steiner. You're inside of my office here.
Thank you for your loyalty and for being a good customer. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. I got your back. I respect and appreciate the art. But I have a question for you. What's like the most expensive thing that you've ever seen? What's the most expensive product? Like, what is the hottest in the streets right now versus like in the history? Like, what is everybody looking for?
Well, you hit it before. I mean, there is, the vintage game used is going for a lot of money. I mean, the baby boomers are not dying off so quickly, and they still love their old shit. So when you look at some of these things from Ruth and Mantle, I see Jordan now skyrocketing. We sold Don Larson's perfect game jersey, his uniform, for $750,000.
Yo!
And listen, that was, arguably one of the greatest games ever pitched. You pitch in a Game 7 perfect game. That's pretty cool. So, I don't know if that ever be done again. But I'm seeing now Jordan authentic game used jerseys in critical moments selling for six figures. We see a lot of that. Babe Ruth is just something about Babe Ruth that people just go ballistic over and will overpay. Obviously, we saw those game balls, which was not a very good investment. We saw that by McFarland. He bought those McGuire balls for several $1 million, and then the ball from Wrigley, where he blew that ball up. I'm not sure those were good investments. And there are certain players now where their autographs, Gretzky autograph is doing extremely well. And it's also difficult to get that people pay a lot of money for that are avid collectors is theme and team signed items. We have 25, 30 signatures on an item. Hard to go get all that, especially if a couple players obviously have died off. We see a lot of interest on that. People love that their team and they want something signed by their team.
So are you watching sports right now and thinking, like, I assume you invest in things and it has to like marinate over time like a fine wine. Like when LeBron does something special, like do you buy something from that, then you hang on to it for like 15, 20 years and it's like, okay, whenever this game's talked about in a decade from now, this is going to be hot? Like is there that type of preparation or is it anything you have is going up right now to see who can pay for what?
I'm doing both. I'm trying to be spontaneous because fanatics and fanatical customers want to respond right now. But I'm also putting stuff aside and creating stuff always and looking back at moments that have kind of come along almost like a fine wine. There are moments that take a while for it to sink in with people that, wow, that was unbelievable what we just saw. Maybe even some of the stuff LeBron did. And by the way, he hasn't even reached the pinnacle yet, LeBron, from a collectability standpoint, because he's not that big with the baby boomers who really spend most of the money. He's bigger with a younger audience. But in the last couple of years, he's gotten a lot more street credibility in the collectability department. He just hasn't participated a lot. If he wanted to, he can make a ton. But for me, everything's about the moment, and that's really the first game changer for Steiner, which was, at Steiner, I was like, people were just getting stuff signed, and I was like, wait a minute. I had a little bit of a learning disability growing up, so I always read everything through photos. And I was reading my kid a story about why Mark Messier was my favorite moment. He won the Stanley Cup in '94. I waited 54 years, and I realized that everybody has a moment. So Steiner, everything's about the moment. All of our products are around the moment. We saw Smith, the Triple Crown. Yeah, I planned for that. And we're going to take some of the stuff from Justify and put that away because it's still, people haven't really... American Pharoah won a couple years ago, so maybe it's not as big as it should be. But that's a big deal to win the Triple Crown. So we may take some of the game-used stuff from the horse and put that away and hold that for a year or two, or maybe even until next year, or until there's another Triple Crown. So remember in the moment, if you think about it as a sports fan, your favorite moment, your first game you went with your parents or your dad, or your first time you ever went to a World Series game, or you were there for Carlton Fisk's home run, or Bobby Orr flying through the air, or Jordan hitting that game winner against Utah, or maybe it was Utah. Yep. Those are moments that you want to relive those moments every day. That's a big part of my game at Steiner. I'm finding everything involving in that photo. I'm recreating it, trying to find the game used from that moment. and then selling that to people so they can relive those moments every day.
It's good marketing too, by the way, Steiner, because whenever you pitch that environment, they go back to how they felt whenever they first saw it, and that's like that's something that you can't there's no price on that, so there's literally that's a good call. Nick got a question for you, Mr. Steiner.
Do you have a personal collection? I'm assuming, and if so, is there like a specific item in there that you love, or is there something that you wouldn't part with?
Yeah, like there's Rick from Pawn Stars has a bunch of shit he refuses to sell.
I'm a quirky collector. I mean, I have a lot of odd stuff that that players are giving me stuff. I have all the rejection letters from players when I was just starting Steiner Sports. I saved all the letters that all the athletes wrote me and said they were not interested in my services, just to remind me like not to listen and not to be discouraged. One thing, I was doing a show for Yes Network where I go to players' houses and I'd televise all their collectibles. And we go to Mariano Rivera's house, and he's sleeping. I'm like, oh, my God, we got 3 cameras here. This is a nightmare. He has nothing. And we wake him up, and he goes, bro, give me that box over there. And he had a box of videotapes. And he literally takes the box that the videotapes were for the camera guy, and he cuts into a baseball glove. And he goes, I didn't have a glove growing up. I used boxes in the back of a store. We cut them and used them as a glove. And I saved that where he signed that glove. It's a video on YouTube if you ever want to watch it, but it's amazing, like things like that. I went to go see Bill Clinton. I gave him a Muhammad Ali photo over listing. So, thank you, Brian. That's really nice. I give him this photo to Bill, signed Muhammad Ali, because we had Muhammad at the time exclusively. And he goes, would you mind giving Muhammad a letter from me? Are you going to see him, right? I said, of course I'm going to see him. So he sits at his desk and he starts writing this note. And he looks up in the middle of writing a note. He goes, you are going to give this to him, right? Not. Yeah, I forgot to give that to Muhammad, but it was a great letter from the president.
He put so much trust in you, Slick Willie had so much trust in you. Diggs, what do you got?
So you were
some
saying
of my favorite things.
You were saying that LeBron could make a bunch of money if he decided to start doing memorabilia and stuff like that. So how much of your stuff is coming just given from the athlete, or how much do you actually have to buy from the athlete?
Oh yeah, what's the turnover?
Well, a lot of it we do deals with athletes to get their game used and to sign. LeBron does some signing with Upper Deck, but I feel like he doesn't participate enough, and he doesn't view that category as important. But he should, because there's a lot more money to be made. Most of the athletes are a lot more savvy, and they are holding on to their stuff and partnering up with companies like mine to sell it. To me, the more people participate and the bigger the industry, the better it is for me. I don't have to control everything. I just want more people to be involved and understand how it works so the right stuff gets put out there and then people get the stuff they want. So, I think that athletes now are smarter with their signature. They're not just giving it away so easily. And I think that their game used, they're very protective over it. Everybody knows what the deal is. A championship jersey from Steph Curry it's a couple $100,000 from those finals. It's $150,000 for a Durant jersey from the finals that we just saw. I mean, so this stuff's going for a lot of money, and players are pretty savvy about it now. And we're working with. We've moved more from the doing deals with players. I used to track Jack Lambert or Roger Staubach. I did more players their first signings, trying to explain to him how this whole thing worked. Walter Payton had a beg. I called him for 4 years until he would sign with me. And he called me on it, when he was dying and not well, and said, "Brandon, I'm ready to sign. I want to leave a legacy behind." And he signed 20,000 things for me in the last 8 months of his life. And there's a big reason I bring that story up. Not only because it made me a fortune, but because
way to stroke yourself right in the middle of that really feud.
Yeah, I gotta say, just get my arm straightened out. But all kidding aside, though. There's the like and the love, and I think it's worth talking about just for a second, because there are athletes that are really well liked that do okay, but then there's the athletes that are loved and beloved. And when you're loved and beloved, like a Mickey Mantle, even a Peyton Manning, Michael Jordan, those are loved. Those are people that would trade their wives and spouses for them to live in their house. Like those are guys that name streets and dogs after those players. Those players you can't buy into enough because people just love them, can't get enough of them. And that, as an athlete, is really, I think, what you should ultimately be shooting for. And that's the pinnacle for us. Like, Don Mattingly is one of the most beloved athletes that we've ever seen in this business, even though he didn't win a lot of championships or anything. There's some athletes that are just loved They're beloved, and they're comparable to how you feel about your child, your pet. There's no replacing them. There's nothing you wouldn't do for them. And you know who those athletes are. And those are the athletes we're trying to connect with every day. And those are the athletes that really translate well in the collectible business.
So what separates you from other companies? Like, what's your pitch to these players?
I mean, first of all, that we've been around for 30 years. Besides,
not a one pitch, not a one pitch to me, Mr. Steiner. Whenever I was playing,
you know, being around a long time and having the credibility and the trust with so many different players over the years is a big deal. But also the creativity. I mean, I think if you're going to sign us up to do, if you're going to sign Steiner up to do your stuff and partner up, it's because you're into the creativity of it, our ability to raise a lot of money for your charities, at the same time put a collection around you, all the way back from when you play Little League, all the way from college, high school, and pro. We're a creative type, so we look at this stuff still as proprietary, limited, where a lot of other companies will look at it as, what can I sell today? What can I flip? What can I make? And I think our reputation precedes us as far as the creativity. I mean, what we're going to do, the stuff we're going to come up with is second to none. I don't sleep a lot when it comes to the creative juices about coming up with crazy stuff, whether it's it's amazing some of the things I've come up with athletes, and they're looking at me like, huh? Like the first time I went to Jeter with the dirt, I mean, he just gave me this stops. He's like, huh?
Did you put together the things that he was handing out the door whenever, was that a Steiner Sports package that Derek Jeter would give to all the ladies whenever they would leave?
I'm thinking we should. No, I had nothing to do with that. But we should be doing some down in Florida, though. I mean, something down in the Marlins. They should be giving away some kind of collectible to remember.
Giving away tickets. I think ain't nobody going to those goddamn games.
People collect low points. Don't. You can go with a low point and hey, remember how bad this team was. Come and pick this up, and that sells. That works. I mean, I think.
What's your market?
If you get something for the 1919 White Sox, I mean, I would grab it.
What's your market like?
I think the steroid thing is going to sell one day. I really do. People are like, I'm going to collect all the steroid babies.
What's your market like for old WWF and WWE stuff?
Vader, because Vader just passed away. I'd assume now this is kind of sad to say this for your business, but I assume death helps in your business. Just for future reference, Vader was a legend for a long time, and if you have any Vader stuff, like today's news is obviously terrible, but as a memorabilia person, that's probably not a bad thing.
I don't do that. I don't chase that, and it's just a little. It doesn't feel right for me, so I don't do that. I understand that the market does go up when celebrities or big names pass. We have a great relationship. We do well with WWF. I like it. I wish that Vince McMahon was more of a collector. I just did something with Hulk Hogan the other day, and literally, and it was just amazing. But I realized like he's not a big collector, doesn't believe in charging and selling autographs because we could have just done a ton of things. But one of the things I do is I will call somebody in their dying days to get them out of bed and say, look, why don't you sign some stuff? I know you're sick, but this will get you out of bed and give you something to do and leave a legacy behind. And we've done a lot of stuff with a lot of celebrities that aren't doing well, and they know they're not. And I'm not opposed to calling them up saying, hey, how about making some money you can leave behind for a scholarship, charity, or your family, and also leave a legacy behind and give you something to do every day that you can do at your own pace. I also call families up after a passing and try to, auction off their, because there's a lot of infighting going on, who gets these rings, who gets these trophies, these belts. So I help them sort that out and explain them the value of the stuff. And
I was born in the dark. Hey, Steiner, we appreciate you so much, sir, at Steiner Sports. And also, I don't know your personal Twitter. Let me
at Brandon Steiner.
I'm BrandonSteiner.com, too, on my blog. I'm half illiterate. I got 500,000 people reading my blog. That's probably my biggest claim to fame. It's like the guy couldn't read or write, and he's writing a blog or somehow out there. But I'm coming back on. I hope one day in the fall when I come out my third book. I'll send you guys my second book, You Gotta Have Balls, which you'll appreciate. Kind of fits right into the theme of your show.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Can't wait to hear that. What is the most expensive thing you have right now on sale?
We've got an auction going on our site, and there's a couple of Babe Ruth pieces that will do extremely well on SteinerSports.com auctions. I mean, that's our summer auction is unbelievable if you're into collecting vintage and unusual items.
No, well, okay. Well, go check that out. I was going to buy it, but it seems like Babe Ruth's probably a bit too high.
Yeah. You know, so I'm going to send you a little care package. This way, you know, you get a little freebie, and then you have to spend your money on something else this week.
I appreciate that. Send me that Derek Jeter care package as well. I'd appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen.
You want the special.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Steiner. I appreciate you so much. We got to get to a break. Check him out, SteinerSports.com. They got a Babe Ruth, BrandonSteiner.com. He's got blogs. He's got podcasts. He's got everything. The face of the memorabilia business. Also a great man. Brandon, we appreciate you so much. Have a good one. What a cool conversation that was.
Yeah, it was.
$750,000 somebody paid for something. $150,000 for Kevin Durant's game-worn jersey there.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got 7 games. You can wear one in the first half, one in the second half. collect. Maybe each quarter. Probably change that jersey each quarter.
Maybe you auction off one of these bats after you've
Hit a dinger.
one of the yards.
Not a bad thought. If you want to pay $100 for this bat, you can have it right now. I hit some hockey balls yesterday. Lot of talking out of that Steiner fella there.
Yeah.
He was good. I feel like he would have had stories for days.
I
if we
know.
asked
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Because he's an older guy. He's been doing it for 30 years at least.
Zito asked the question. Off air. He was like, wild to think that he goes to people's deathbeds, and but it probably helps them. Like, you know, it's probably like a feel good thing for them. Because as they're signing it, they're reliving old memories.
I guess so.
So reliving old memories, and there's probably a lot of money about to be generated, and your legacy is getting painted again.
Yeah, Walter Payton. That's what he said. Walter Payton said to him when he was on his deathbed. 20,000 fucking signatures on your deathbid. That was a lot.
It's a lot of signatures.
He probably could have lived a little bit longer if he didn't have to do all this.
You think he killed him? You think Steiner killed him?
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
People are saying Drake killed that.
He might not be the
XXX
it might not
Tentacion.
be the Walter Payton Man of the Year award if he didn't sign all those.
I don't know. But Walter Payton's very competitive, so he might have set himself a goal.
You're
Like,
right.
I'm not letting go until I get 20,000.
Oh, got you. So that might have been like a 10,000
Yeah.
deal, but Walter Payton was like, I still got juice left, cuz let me go until I'm done. And then he just, final thing was 20,000. Walter Payton's a hell of a dude.
I'll tell you what would have made him live longer if he was on Lisa's mattress. No? Maybe next time.
Lisa's?
Yeah,
Like
just
Posh
Lisa.
I was trying to force it out.
Yeah.
You could have
you'll get back.
fit deathbed in there too.
I didn't want to say death.
Oh yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Maybe speaking of beds.
The thing I did miss is the Philly question. And I talked about that on Sirius after. I did miss the Philly question. I had it written down and everything. I wanted to ask him because if he gets like Nick Foles' glove that he caught that with,
Yeah.
you know, because he had one glove on, plus with the picture with the signing on it. Some guy in Philadelphia like 15 years from now is going to pay.
Imagine getting Nick Foles' bed. I tried again.
Yeah. I mean, just like baseball tonight, there's 3 strikes. I mean, you're sitting on an 0-2 count right now, though.
So you think Drake killed that guy?
There's a chance Drake killed that guy. He
I don't
really
think so.
did. Yeah. It was a lot about, because I think X knew about Drake sleeping around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was one point where the porn star thing happened. I don't think Drake had enough gusto to really kill him.
Yeah, or enough. Yeah, but did he give enough shits? Probably
Why
not.
would he? Yeah, if you have that much money, he's giving away $999,000 or whatever dollars just for a video.
Drake ain't losing sleep at night.
By the way, quite a budget for that video, that YouTube video. He ain't losing sleep at all. He's probably pretty comfortable. with
Yeah,
what he
I would
does.
assume he
Probably
is.
sleeps on a bed of money.
Yeah, I bet he
so
would.
comfy.
You remember that South Park episode where they said Magic Johnson, the way he beat AIDS is because he slept on a bed of money?
Bed, yeah.
Yeah,
Bed.
and everybody was like, there's no way a bed that would feel as good as a bed of money
Like a
would feel.
comfortable bed.
I'll tell you way more better.
Way more better. Unbelievable. Strike 3. Unbelievable. Yeah, you're done. That was 3 strikes and you're out.
These guys fucking
Unbelievable.
I mean, you talk about a silver platter.
3 different times.
What the fuck?
It was
Unbelievable.
too good to be
Yeah.
true. It was too good to be true.
There's a lot of things that are considered too good to be true, and Lisa's sleep mattress is one of them. And right now, you get $160 off at leesa.com/barstool, the deepest discount they've ever offered. 1 mattress donated for every 10 sold, and 1 tree planted for every order received. 23,000 mattresses donated thus far. You start doing the math, you know how many beds they've sold, and there's good reason. They have over 11,000 five-star reviews. Lisa Mattress is loved by 300,000 happy sleepers and counting. Ding, 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 ding,
going up.
ding, ding.
Quickly.
as it should, because they're incredible. Social conscience with a mission to end bedlessness in America. Lisa Mattress was designed to provide support and pressure relief to every body type and sleeping for a deeper night's sleep. Ever since I've started sleeping on this Lisa mattress, I come into work much more refreshed. I feel better because there's a difference between passing out and going to sleep.
Correct. Yeah.
And Lisa's sleep ensures that you're going to sleep. It's a deeper, it's a more comfortable, and the support's there as well, so you don't feel like you're just falling into holes. It's a very, very high quality mattress that you would never in a million years think would just be shipped right to your door.
Wow. Do you ever think about this? In order to fall asleep, you have to pretend that you're asleep.
Whoa, that's deep.
It's too much right now. It's
You
too
just
much.
blew my mind.
Not on a
there.
Lisa mattress.
Exactly.
It just happens.
All the pretending is out the window.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because all that happens is you get a deeper rest with a Lisa mattress. After some research, we learned that men and women think a lot differently about sleep. Men use words like recharge and optimize. They want it to be efficient and effective, while women use words like relax and recover. It's more of a place to decompress after a long day. What we can all agree on is that we do more in the bedroom and on our mattresses than just sleep. We relax and recover with a book, television, or tea. We constantly think of our bedroom space as a personal sanctuary. This idea of a deeper rest speaks to the personal contribution to Lisa's social mission and the personalization of rest. It's more than just sleep. Go to lisa.com/barstool for $160 off. Get in on the mission, end bedlessness, and sleep better. It's a win-win-win. Check, check, check. Zito, hell of an ad read by you. You did great.
I took a lot of notes.
From myself, at Todd McComas, at Diggs with a Z, at Nick Moraldo, at Viva Lazito, at Ty Schmidt, at Evan Foxy, at Brandon Steiner, at Darth Amin, and at Dallas Braden 39.
209.
Fuck.
It's close.
There's a 9 in there. That's on me. We thank you so much for listening on this beautiful Thursday. The conversations were really cool. I'm very thankful for Peggy who booked them, Paul Kaplan who booked them, and Sirius who booked those conversations. Very, very thankful. Let's have an incredible Thursday. Tonight's the night. Who knows what's going to happen? Hashtag Endgang, hashtag Endgame. Go and send me some motivational words. Can't wait to read them on Twitter. Let's have a good one. Do your predictions, some motivational words, all those things. I'm stepping in to the jungle tomorrow night, or tonight, I guess. And I'm going to go down swinging for sure. Unless it's a good curveball and I just sit back and watch that thing go by. Who knows what's going to happen? It should be a good time. I appreciate you. You've been listening to the Pat McAfee Show here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Ty Schmidt, hit the music.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. He was a high school All-American, a college All-American. He was All-Pro in the NFL, but the thing that he's most proud of is during his show in Muncie, Indiana, he made a woman in the crowd laugh so hard, she shit her pants. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat McAfee!